What's going on? How y'all doing? Can we have a real quick moment with Resident Evil 7? I know it's the hot game coming out next Tuesday. I know this. But we need to have a discussion because I fear for the state in which failure is what we're looking at. I know a lot of you are like, why? Why would Resident Evil 7 fail? It's been set up to succeed, and that's exactly why it would fail. Because it's been set up to succeed. Think about it. Resident Evil 5 was set up to succeed, yet turned out to be one of the highest turnaround games in Resident Evil. And Resident Evil 6 didn't live up to its hype, even with Leon S. Kennedy being in it. And everybody likes Leon. So think about that. And now with Resident Evil 7, what game this generation has been able to ride the hype train successfully? None. Halo 5. It's a Halo game. Probably the worst of the franchise. No Man's Sky. Fucking sucked. Destiny. It took all the way to the Taken King for that game to become good. And the list goes on. Okay? The hype this generation has failed constantly. Not on just PlayStation, but on Xbox as well. Hype is not good. Now, another reason that this game is set up to fail. VR. Where in the fuck can you buy a PlayStation VR? Nobody's talking about this. I don't know if it's because it's a fucking elephant in the room. I don't know what it is. Nobody's talking about this. Not PlayStation, not YouTube, nobody. But ever since Christmas, PlayStation VR has gone silent. They have sold out, but where can you buy one? The GameStops in my area and outside of my area are not even on shipments. They're not getting a shipment. PlayStation is not releasing numbers. Think about that. They're not releasing any info about them. And this is supposed to be a major PSVR release. But if it's supposed to be that big of a PSVR release, and you can't even get the fucking headset, how much damage is that going to cause to this one title? Fuck the rest of them. This one title. Because we are talking about Resident Evil here, a game that has had a on and off again, kind of, sort of, maybe relationship as of late with its fans. Think about that. Okay? And with PlayStation going silent after the holidays and not releasing numbers, you gotta wonder. You gotta think. And you gotta think logically. Fuck the fanboyism. Fuck the I'm riding and I'm gonna fucking ride this motherfucker like it's my life support bullshit. They're not releasing numbers. They're not releasing numbers. You can't find the VR headset. I've tried. You can't. Okay? GameStop isn't getting them in. Nobody's getting them in. And this is a major title for that headset. It's the first full-length, non-technical demo to actually be released. That says something, okay? And a week before the release, there's no headsets. We're starting to see more and more games come out for that, and we can't find them. That's going to turn a lot of potential customers away. This is a product that, I'm sorry, Sony, you knew before getting in the fucking water, you knew was iffy to begin with. Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, didn't do so hot. So don't miss me with bullshit about they didn't know. They knew. Okay? You have Xbox now saying they wanted to be part of the Play Anywhere. This game is set up to fail. I'm not questioning whether it's going to sell the first week or even the second week. Sure, plenty of people will run out and purchase it. That's not the question. Plenty of people ran out day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the fucking 15th day and bought Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, and Resident Evil Revelations, Resident Evil Revelations 2. All of them, okay? The part I'm talking about is this. The part I'm talking about is they also ran right back and gave that motherfucker right back to the place they bought it from. That's the part I'm talking about. People will run out, buy the collector's edition for that house thing, and then give the game right back to the person at the counter because they don't want the fucking game. You see what I'm saying? Because they've taken it home, they've played a few minutes of it, or what they really wanted it for, they can't play it with, like the VR headset, because they can't fucking find one, which I don't know if you paid attention or not. They were pushing the VR headset playability with that game a shit ton, and now it's gone quiet. Okay? That's all you heard about for all of last year was Resident Evil 7's coming, Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 7 playable on VR. And then, like, as soon as they started getting closer and closer, they slowly shut the fuck up. So again, this is something to be concerned about, because I really do feel that maybe it's going to be an okay game, but have they set it up to fail due to a lack of PSVR? Due to overhyping this game? Have they set it up to fail due to the hype train has just not been successful at all this generation? Have they set it up to fail due to lack of VR demand and being unable to meet it? Have they set it up due to that? Is this thing just not going to sell well off of all these things? You see what I'm saying? Because while yes, you'll be able to play it on the Xbox One. Yes, you'll be able to play it on the PS4. A lot of people would love to be able to play it on the PSVR. Would love to do that, because that brings a whole new dimension into Resident Evil and changes up everything. Whereas with why Resident Evil Revelations was so big, it was first on the 3DS, and it was really good on the 3DS. And then the story and everything else fell into place, and then they ported it everything. Okay, so it was really good. Then you had the idea of Resident Evil 4 before that, and it switched up things then too. But you cannot have Resident Evil 7 be the way it is, where it is so hyped the way it is, with all these promises. And Sony, especially from you, with the fact that your promotion up until about, what, Christmas time? Talking about it's one of the PlayStation VR compatible games, but we can't find any PlayStation VR VR headsets right now. We can't find any. Where the fuck are the VR headsets? And I know that might be just my area, but I don't think it is. Like I said, where I remotely live right now, they don't have any. There's no plans of getting any anytime soon. And when I left my area and went out of it to another GameStop, they told me the same exact thing. That they don't have any in stock. There's no shipments coming anytime soon. And this is only a week before a full-on VR experience is due to hit. So I don't think this is something you can quite say, oh, you're full of shit over. You know what I'm saying? I think this is something to really be concerned about. With as much hype as they've given this game, I think this is something to really think about. Because this will affect the sales of the game. Like I said, a lot of people will run out there and want to buy it, no problem, because they've reserved that big fucking house special edition. But if they can't turn around and buy a VR headset because that's how they want to play it, because they want to experience something completely different other than sitting down in front of a television with the damn thing, they're going to open it up right there and they're going to give the guy the fucking game right back. Because they can't fucking experience it the way they want to. And they'll keep the fucking house. See what I mean? And it will become like Resident Evil 5 all over again, where yes, you have a whole bunch of people buying the fucking game, but then within the first month's projection numbers, you also have a huge turnaround where people just fucking returned it. They took it, played it, beat it, and brought it back. And that's what I'm talking about. And that's what you need to be worried about. So, I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's misleading. I think that's reasonable to look at it that way. I think you should look at it that way. I really want Resident Evil 7 to do good. And PlayStation, you really need to flood the market with this PlayStation VR. This is not something you need to play around with. I said it once before, I'll say it again. If you were this sketchy about the VR headsets, why did you spend so much money investing in on it when you didn't have the cash to burn in the first place?